Hey guys, today we're going to be going over 1.1, the science of art and data. This is the first section of chapter 1 notes, so make sure that you have these copied before you watch this video. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the statistical problem solving process. Now, there are four key elements to the statistical problem solving process. The first is that we always want to ask questions, which means we clarify the research problem and ask one or more statistical questions. Then, of course, we need to collect the data, analyze the data, and interpret the results. Now, one of the most important things is that there are two separate parts of data. The first part of data is your individuals. This is the person, the animal, anything being described. That would be considered your individuals. Now, the things that you are asking about your individuals are called variables. Those are any attribute that can take different values from different individuals. Next up, we have two different types of variables. The first type of variable that we have is called categorical. If you think of the word category, you have this down. Categories are essentially anything that's not a number. It can also reference anything that could put your individuals into different groups. With that, next up is quantitative. Some people call it quantitative, some people say quantitative. I will use both. So quantitative is a number that can be used to find an average. Now that's really important because there are certain numbers about people, such as like identification numbers, that don't make sense to take the average. So a couple of these examples would be like ID numbers, phones, zip codes, things like that. It doesn't make the sense to take the average of those numbers. So here we're going to look at some data from one of my classes. I'm going to cover up the names of the students so that way we can't see who they are. But what I want you to know is that I took all of their names, and their names were my individuals. Now, with that, I asked them a series of questions. I asked them their gender, how long they slept the night before, their age, eye color, number of pets, zip code, and favorite color. So these were the answers that we got. So then what we did is we decided that we're going to see which of these is categorical and which is quantitative. So we're going to start with gender. So gender, first off, it's not a number, so it has to be, you guessed it, categorical. Hours slept, that's a number that can easily be averaged, so that's quantitative. Age can also be averaged, it's quantitative. Eye color is categorical. Number of pets is quantitative because you can take the average. Zip code, very important. It's a number, but it's not quantitative. It's categorical. And last but not least, our favorite color is categorical. Now, anytime that you have a number that is way more than everybody else's numbers, those are considered to be outliers. Okay, so then we went on to discuss frequency. Okay, frequency is how often something occurs. Now, a frequency table is a table that displays those frequencies. And finally, the last definition that we had was relative frequency, which is a table showing the percent or proportion of the individuals having each data type. So we looked at, in the class, what kind of social media people used. So we looked at Snapchat, Facebook, Discord, Twitter, and we took account of all of the students in the class that preferred those apps. So in the class, the frequency for Instagram was 15 because 15 people in the class said that they prefer Instagram. Now, relative frequency is how does it relate to the other values? So for this, most of the time we start with a fraction. We look at the proportion, convert it to a decimal, and then convert it to a percent. Remember, when you are converting a decimal into a percent, you have to move the decimal place 2 times to the right. And that is all for 1.1.